Hello everyone, welcome back to Believers IAS Academy Bengaluru. This is topic of the day discussion session. In this session, we are going to discuss important topic of Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana and restructured weather-based crop insurance scheme. Okay, we will see why it is in news and what are the key provisions and differences between both the schemes. So, it is in news because the government of India extended two crop insurance schemes, that is Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana and restructured weather based crop insurance scheme for another year until 2025-26. It also sets aside 824.77 crores to improve these schemes using advanced technology. So they also set up a new fund called as FIAT. We'll also see what is that fund, but before that we'll see the provisions of Fasal Bima Yojana. Okay, so first and foremost thing is, what is Fasal Bima Yojana? The provisions are, it covers comprehensive risk coverage. That is, Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana provides coverage against all non-preventable natural risks, from pre-sowing to post-harvest stages, including droughts, floods, and pests. Very important. Most of the times what happens is, whenever there is a statement based on all, like extreme statements, we tend to think that statement is wrong. But in this case, the statement becomes right. That is, all non-preventable natural risks, that is from pre-sowing, before you sow the seeds, to post-harvest, that is after you harvest the crops, including droughts, floods, and pests. All these cases, in case your crop gets destroyed because of these reasons, then you have insurance under Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana. And then it also has subsidized premium rates. That is, farmers pay a fixed premium of 1.5% for Rabi crops, 2% for Kharif crops, and 5% for cash crops. The remaining premium is shared between the central and state governments. Okay, farmers have to pay only little amount, that is 1.5%, 2%, and 5% respectively for Rabi, Kharif, and cash crops. Rest will be paid by the central and state governments in a sharing basis. Okay, then financial support. It offers financial assistance to farmers suffering from crop loss due to unforeseen events, aiming to stabilize their income and encourage modern agricultural practices. Okay, so there is also financial assistance to farmers who are suffering crop losses. Then it also has a feature of technological integration. How? That is, this scheme incorporates technological initiatives like YesTech for yield estimation and winds for weather data collection, enhancing the efficiency in claim settlements. Okay, before you settle the claims, there are two technologies, that is YesTech. What is YesTech? It is for yield estimation, and second one is winds. Winds is related to weather data collections. We will first analyze the data from these two technologies, and then we will do the settlements of the claims. Okay, so these are the key features of Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana. And then, if there is Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana for insurances, then what was the need for restructured weather-based crop insurance scheme then? It is because it provides financial protection against weather risks. Okay, Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana provides all non-weather related. Okay, if it is for non-weather related, this one is for weather related issues. Farmers from financial losses caused by adverse weather conditions such as rainfall, temperature fluctuations, wind, and humidity, which can severely impact the crop yields and farmers' income. Okay, so major distinction between Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana and restructured weather insurance scheme is non-preventable natural risks, whereas this is for weather related. Okay, it also provides comprehensive coverage for various crops, that is, aims to provide insurance protection for a wide range of crops such as food crops, oil seeds, and commercial or horticultural crops, thereby mitigating the impact of natural calamities like droughts and floods on the farmers' livelihoods. Okay, so these are the two premier schemes which are related to crop insurance in India. Now we will see the differences between these two schemes. Okay, so key differences was both were launched in 2016. Okay, and then primary focus is it is protecting crop failure due to natural calamities, pests and diseases, whereas this provides insurance based on weather parameters. What are the weather parameters? Like rainfall, temperature, wind. Aim is to mitigate financial losses from weather extremes. And then risk assessment method. Here the risk is assessed based on area based approach. Okay, area based approach with the crop cutting experiments, remote sensing, etc., etc. Here it is based on weather based. Okay, weather based approach. It triggers using the data from weather stations. This is very important. Area based approach and weather based approach. Here yield versus threshold yield determines the compensation. Okay, what is the yield they have got, what was the threshold yield. If you are getting yield lesser than the threshold yield, we will be eligible for getting certain compensation from the government. Whereas here the yield or threshold is already predefined. The threshold will be there, predefined threshold based on the rainfall levels activates the payout automatically. That is, if the rainfall level according to threshold is 100 centimeter, and if the rainfall is above 100 centimeter, or if the rainfall is below 50 centimeter, if 50 to 100 is the threshold limit, if the rainfall is higher, then it is considered as a flood. If it is less than 50 centimeter, it is considered a drought. Then you can activate the payouts. Okay. Then how is the premium structure calculated? In Fasal Bima Yojana, it is uniform capped rates for farmers, that is 2% for Kharif, 1.5% for Rabi, 5% for horticulture commercial crops. And there is no upper limit on the government subsidy. Whereas in RWBCIS, it varies based on the weather risks and policy design. Similar subsidy approach, but rates are dependent on specific weather-based insurance products. Okay, so there is a limit. That limit is decided based on the specific weather-based insurance products. Then coverage. How many crops or what are the crops which are covered under this is all notified crops are covered in a defined areas. Then it includes food crops, oil seeds and commercial and horticulture crops. Okay, here it covers food crops, oil seeds and commercial and horticulture for weather induced losses, meaning all the crops are covered in both the areas, but the reason is different. Enrollment initially compulsory for farmers with the crop loans, that is Kisan credit cards. It was made voluntary for all farmers from Kharif 2020. Initially compulsory, then made voluntary. Here all farmers including sharecroppers and tenant farmers are eligible if they grow notified crops in a notified area. Okay, so compulsory to voluntary. Here all farmers including sharecroppers are eligible. Okay, then key objective is same thing will be there, providing financial support and stabilizing the income in the event of crop failure, encourage innovative and modern farming practices so that they become better equipped with the climate change. Here protect farmers from weather aberrations, ensuring swift compensation when weather thresholds are met or breached. Okay, so what are the unique features? One nation, one scheme concept is followed in Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana. Loss based compensation linked to actual yield shortfalls. Okay, so what are the yield threshold is there and the actual yield, and that gap will be compensated based on the loss based compensation by the government. Here weather triggered based system, that is if a threshold is surpassed by the weather phenomena, then it is automatically triggered. Payouts depend on the deviation from the normal weather parameters, and there is no extensive damage assessment. Here damage assessment is done. Here there is no damage assessment. Even if you are getting certain crops, but if the threshold is breached in the weather activities such as temperature or rainfall, then the payout clause is automatically activated there. Okay, these provisions or these key words are very important, so do make a note of these things. There can easily be a question in the prelims on these schemes. Okay, then so in this news, in the initially I told you there was around 822.777 crore kept aside, that was kept for FIAT fund. What is FIAT? It is Fund for Innovation and Technology, has been established with the corpus of 822.77 crore to enhance the implementation of Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana and RWBCIs. And there are various key roles of this fund. That is, aim is to provide technological advancement, that is funding technological initiatives aimed at improving the assessment of crop damage and expediting claim settlements. Then research support, that is facilitating research and development studies that enhance the effectiveness of crop insurance schemes through innovative practices. And then improving the accessibility. How? By aiding in the use of digital technologies for easier enrollment processes and expanding the coverage of farmers. Okay, FIAT is basically, it is a subsequent scheme aimed at supporting these FBA, Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana, and restructured weather-based crop insurance scheme. So this is for today's discussion. Very important topics. UPSC generally tends to ask any schemes which are in presently news. So there can be, you can expect a question in prelims on these schemes. So do make note of these important provisions and the differences. Okay, so if you like the video, then please hit on the like button and also comment on the video and share with your friends so that they can also avail the benefits. With this, I will end the video. Jai Hind.